guys, so today I finally have a hamster video for you guys, but no, unfortunately I didn't get a hamster. That question has been asked so many times recently. Most of you know that currently I don't own any hamsters, which is really weird because I've owned hamsters consistently for about the past, I think, 8 or 9 years, and now that I don't have any, that's what my channel started off of. So a lot of you have been wondering when I'm getting a new hamster, and honestly right now I can't answer that question. I do miss having hamsters and I think I will be getting one again in the future, but right now it's just not a good time in my life to be getting any new pets. And as much as I know you guys miss seeing hamsters on this channel and I miss having a hamster, personally I know it's just not the best choice for me right now. So even though my channel originally started off hamsters, hopefully you guys enjoy seeing a lot of my other pets. And like in today's video, I do still plan on having hamster related content because a lot of it I can do without actually having a hamster, and a lot of hamster stuff can also be used for my gerbils. So although I don't have a hamster right now, I'm still going to be putting out some hamster videos. I will have a hamster sometime in the future. Hopefully you guys decide to stick around. But for today, I thought it would be really fun to review a complete hamster starter kit. This is a video that I've been wanting to do for a long time. I know I say that in a lot of my videos, but the starter kit I have here, I actually bought, I think last March. So I've had this sitting around for 10 months now, and I'm finally getting around to doing it. If you watched my videos before, you probably know that hamster starter kits are not a good option. This is a weird thing to say, but my goal for this video is not to reach my normal audience. I'm hoping by posting this video, maybe I'll reach some people that usually don't watch me, or maybe they're thinking about getting their first hamster and are just in the first stages of research, and they saw one of these kits in the store and thought it was a good idea because it comes with everything you need. So hopefully I'll reach some people in this video that were thinking about getting a starter kit and maybe change their mind. I do know that there are going to be some people that no matter what I say in this video are going to go out and get these anyway, either because they just think I'm crazy and hamsters don't need that much, or they're gonna say their parents won't let them get a bigger cage. But my thing for that is, if you are a child and your parents aren't going to let you get a suitable cage, maybe a hamster isn't a good choice right now and you should wait until you're able to get one on your own. I know kids hate hearing that, but you can't just put the blame on your parents. You have to make sure the hamster can have a good life no matter what. So I know I've been rambling, but today I'm going to be going over a complete hamster starter kit. This is one I got at Petco. It is by the brand KT, but in this video I'm not just going to talk about the items that come in this specific kit because there are so many different complete or hamster starter kits out on the market, and this video is just kind of an overview of all of those because I saw a lot of these in store. I know KT makes some, the brands that make stuff specifically for Petco make some, PetSmart makes some. Basically any brand that makes hamster products makes some type of starter kit, and all of them are very similar, and unfortunately all of them are a big waste of money and aren't suitable cages. So today we're going to be looking at this specific starter kit, but most of what I'm going to be talking about in this video can apply to all of them. So here is the starter kit that we're going to be looking at today. Like I said, this is from KT. This is the complete hamster starter kit. Down here it does say perfect home for your hamster or gerbil, and even though I think this is an awful option for a hamster, I have to say it's way worse for a gerbil because, as you guys know, I give my gerbils like a foot of bedding and my gerbils would chew out of this plastic base very, very quickly. So although I wouldn't recommend putting any live animal in here, I do think it's an especially awful option for gerbils in particular. Also, a lot of people are going to say I could use it for my dwarf hamster or my robo hamster because they're smaller. Unfortunately, even though dwarfs and robos are smaller hamsters, they still require just as large of cages as Syrians. Just because your hamster's only this big doesn't mean it needs less space. A lot of the smaller hamsters are actually a lot more active. So this isn't going to be suitable for any type of small pet, unfortunately. So before I actually open this up, I just want to talk about why this seems like a good idea to a lot of people, especially when they haven't done their research and they just go into the store to buy a cage. So maybe you're just starting your research and you are trying to find a good cage before you go buy it, and you thought this looked like a good option because according to the box, it comes with everything you need. So in this box, it comes with the cage itself, a wheel, a food dish, some hamster food, a water bottle, and some bedding. So basically, if you just read the box, that sounds like a really good deal because these kits usually go from about $30 to $50, and it comes with everything you need. And if you price everything individually, you're going to be spending a lot more than that. So a parent or a young kid might think this is a really good deal. But unfortunately, if you buy one of these, I can guarantee you're just going to end up wasting a lot of money because your hamster is not going to be happy and healthy in here, and you're going to have to end up upgrading sooner than later. So there are some way cheaper options out on the market, or you can make some yourself that I'll talk about in a bit that are way cheaper options so you don't go out and waste $30 and then have to upgrade in a month. But I definitely get the appeal deal of these if you're just walking through the store because it looks like a great all-in-one package. So today I'm gonna look through this and tell you guys why each of these items actually isn't the best option. Alright, so I went ahead and put the cage together. Here is the cage that came with this specific starter kit, but looking at a few of them online, most of them seem to be about this same size. While this definitely isn't the smallest cage I've seen, because if you guys have watched my channel before, you know I've reviewed some insanely small cages, this is still a ridiculously small cage. You shouldn't be able to hold a hamster cage like this with one hand. So according to the box, this cage is 13.5 inches long by 11 inches deep, and unfortunately that is under 150 square inches of floor space. If you're in the US, you probably know that although it has been debated a little bit recently, a lot of people still agree that 450 square inches is the minimum size you should have any hamster in. A lot of people are actually advocating for a larger cage than that, which I always think bigger is better, but since the US is so behind on pet care in general, I personally believe that 450 square inches is a good size to shoot for. And this cage, unfortunately, is less than a third of what a hamster is going to need, according to our US standards, which compared to the rest of the world are still pretty small. So this cage is definitely not going to be a suitable size. Once again, a lot of people might think that they'll just buy this to start out with and then they'll upgrade their hamster after a while. But the fact of the matter is you're going to want a large cage right off the bat, because right when you bring a hamster home, you're probably going to be working on taming, and there's nothing that's going to make a hamster more agitated and likely to bite than being in a small cage. A small cage like this is going to stress out your hamster, especially being in a new environment. So bringing your hamster home and putting it in one of these cages is just going to make the taming process even harder. So you might think your hamster just isn't nice and you're never going to be able to tame it, when in reality, if you gave it some more space, gave it some more enrichment, it would probably calm it down and make taming quite a bit easier. So if you're thinking about getting one of these small cages just to start off with, please look into something bigger, because this is going to make it harder for you and your hamster. So this is the actual cage. So now I'm going to go ahead and put the level and wheel in and talk about that. Alright, so here is the cage completely put together. The only thing I didn't put on is I only have one of these clips on here. I didn't read the instructions, and obviously I'm not as smart as a really cheap plastic hamster cage because I couldn't get both of them on. But since I'm not actually putting an animal in here, I didn't think it was that important because it's not going to affect the overall quality of this video. But here is the cage itself when it's all set up. Like I said at the beginning, if you don't know that much about hamsters, maybe it's your first one, this seems like it comes with everything that you need. So now I'm going to go over everything kind of one by one, why it's not the best option and why you can get something a lot better. So one thing about the cage itself that I didn't mention earlier is how deep this base is. Once again, the exact number is kind of debated, but hamsters are a burrowing animal, and many people agree that they need 6+ inches of bedding. A lot of people go with closer to 8 inches depending on where you are. But no matter what, I think that 6 inches is a good number to shoot for personally. So this cage is not going to give you near enough space to put bedding in here. This complete kit does come with some bedding. This is KT Clean and Cozy. I do actually enjoy this bedding. It's not my favorite, but I know it is a lot of people's favorite. This is a very nice bedding. It is completely safe for your hamster. Some of the ones they make are scented, which I don't recommend, but this is just the plain white one. So this is a great bedding option, but there's not very much. Of course, you are putting it in a tiny cage, so it will fill this cage, but you're only going to be able to put about 3 inches of bedding in here, and your hamster isn't going to have enough space to burrow the way they would naturally. Also with that, my hamsters always like to pile stuff up on the corners, so your bedding probably is going to be constantly falling out of the wire and making a mess, so you really want a cage with a deeper base. So for a good alternative cage option, I know a lot of people go for these because they're affordable. If you're looking for an affordable cage that is a good size, I would definitely recommend looking at a DIY bin cage. They're very simple to make and you can make them extremely cheap. So if you just search for bin cages on YouTube, I know there are a lot of great channels that have some tutorials on how to make them. You can make them without having any tools or anything. You just need a big storage bin and some wire. If you don't have wire, I know a lot of people also drill holes in the lid for ventilation. That would take quite a bit of time, but that is a good option if you don't want to work with the hardware mesh. But a bin cage is going to be a very good affordable option in lieu of this cage. So besides the size of the cage itself, the biggest problem I have with this complete kit is the wheel. You can see that little tiny thing in the back. That is the wheel that this cage comes with. Unfortunately, I don't have a measuring tape or anything with me right now, and I don't believe it says on the box, but that looks to be about a 4.5 to 5 inch wheel, which personally I believe is too small for any type of hamster. I know some people prefer to use tiny wheels for their robots robos, but when I had my robo in the past, she preferred a 6.5-inch wheel. Any type of dwarf hamster is going to need at least a 6.5-inch wheel, and if you try to use this wheel for any Syrian hamster, even a baby, they are going to have a really rough time. They're not going to be able to use it, and they might end up with some serious health issues. When you're picking out a wheel for your hamster, you want one where the hamster can run with a straight back. If their back is curved at all, that is going to be bad for them over time. It can cause some serious health issues, and they might just stop using their wheel because it's going to be uncomfortable. And if a hamster doesn't have a wheel to use, they're going to become very restless because they have a lot of energy they need to get out, and they're not going to have anything to keep them busy in this cage. So whenever I'm personally looking at setting up a hamster cage, the wheel is always one of the most important aspects for me. My favorite wheels are the Carolina Storm Express wheels, which you can find on the internet. If you're going for a dwarf, I really like the 6.5-inch silent spinners, which are available in pretty much every pet store, but anything smaller than 6.5 inches is probably going to be too small, and unfortunately this wheel is very small and it doesn't spin smoothly, so your hamster isn't going to get the exercise and enrichment they need. So if you end up upgrading your hamster cage to like a bin cage or something after you buy this, you're also going to have to upgrade the wheel because the wheel is going to be too small, and also it won't be able to hook onto a bin cage. So once again, all the items you're buying in this, you're just wasting your money, so you might as well buy stuff from the get-go that's going to be good long term. Other than that, I don't have any major problems with the other accessories this cage comes with. They are very cheap, so they probably won't last that long. Like this little plastic level is a very cheap quality, and if your hamster is bored in a small cage like this, they're probably going to chew it up, and you don't want your hamster chewing plastic because that can be very unsafe. So it probably won't last that long, but the food dish is once again a cheap plastic, but it will work. And then I didn't test out this water bottle, but it does feel very cheap. A lot of water bottles have problems leaking, so that's not something I'm going to necessarily bash this starter kit for, because water bottles are kind of hit and miss. Some people have really good luck with a certain brand, and someone will go out and buy that exact same bottle and have bad luck. So water bottles aren't something I'm going to get into too much. So it does have a water bottle. It is a good size, but still you can get a nice water bottle for a few dollars, so you wouldn't have to buy this kit for that. So other than the cage and everything itself, like I said, it does come with this little bag of bedding and this food. This bedding, like I said, is a good option. This is a bedding that a lot of people enjoy, and it is very safe, but this is a very small amount, so on its own this would only be a few dollars. So buying the complete kit, you're not really saving any money there. And then the food it comes with is the KT Fiesta. Personally, I don't recommend this food. I find it to be a very low quality, but even if you don't want to take in the consideration of the quality of food, once again, this is just kind of a sample size of food, and you can get like a 2-pound bag of food from anywhere from like $6 to $10. So this is like $1 or $2 worth of food, so you're not saving any money by buying this in the complete kit. And if you buy this kit, you're gonna have to go out in like a week or two and buy more food anyway. So that was just a look at this starter kit. Like I said at the beginning, I don't want this video to be completely about this specific kit because there are so many complete hamster kits out on the market, and I'm just hoping that maybe someone out there is thinking about getting one of these because they're just getting a hamster and they think it looks like a good deal and they're trying to save some money or something. Hopefully I will stop you guys from wasting your money and making your hamster uncomfortable, because in the end your hamster's not going to be happy in there. It will probably have some behavioral issues because it doesn't have anything to do. That's going to make taming harder, and you're going to end up spending a lot more money down the road upgrading all of these items when you could just get them off the bat. And I know some people will say, well, this is the only size cage I have space for. It's just a small hamster. This also makes some people very angry. But once again, if you don't have the space to give a hamster, or any animal for that matter, the space they need to thrive, maybe it's not the best point in your life to get a hamster. I know some people really want a hamster or a pet, and that's not something you want to hear, but hamsters are living creatures. Even though they're not as big and interactive as like a dog, they're still just as important. So it's really important to make sure you can provide everything for them before you go out and get one for selfish reasons. Like right now, I would absolutely love to get another hamster. I want to go out and get one all the time, but I know personally I have the space for it, but it's just not a good choice in my life right now. And although I hate saying that, I do have to deal with it. So as much as I want a hamster, I know it's not a good pet for me right now. So I'm just gonna have to wait until a time comes in my life again where that's something I think I can do. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully I convinced at least one person out there not to go out and get a hamster and put them in one of these starter kits. Like I said earlier, if you're looking for a cheap alternative, look for DIY bin cages on YouTube. There are so many great tutorials out there. I personally don't have one, but I know there are a ton of channels who do. So definitely go check those out. You can make them cheap, they're easy, and they are very customizable, so you can make it fit your needs better than one of these starter kits. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to give it a big thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe down below if you haven't already, and I will see you guys next time.